everyone. This is the Jose Show. I hope everyone's having a fantastic Wednesday. I surely am, and we have a lot of hot tea to spill, so now let's get started. Now let's start off with Mario Batali. Alright, so Mario Batali was cleared of charges just yesterday that he groped a woman at a Boston bar. An important victory for the celebrity chef who fell from grace after multiple allegations of sexual impropriety surfaced. Now, Boston Municipal Court Judge James Stanton found the chef, who had waived his right to a trial by jury, not guilty of indecent battery and assault after a criminal trial that lasted less than 2 days. Batali's lawyers, Anthony Fuller, effectively convinced Stanton of his client's innocence after going to lengths to discredit his accuser, Natalie Tenay. Now, this is what was being said. It's an understatement to say that Mr. Batali did not cover himself in glory on the night in question. His conduct and his appearance and demeanor were not befitting on a public person of his stature at that time, the judge said before announcing his decision. But ultimately, this case is about credibility, the judge said, and the Tenay has significant credibility issues. Now, the disgraced chef, wearing a pinstripe suit jacket, mouthed the words, "Thank you," to Stanton and slightly bowed his head after the judge announced the not guilty verdict. He also gave one of his lawyers a small kiss and the other a short hug. Tenay, 32, testified on Monday that Batali, 61, non-consensually kissed her, rubbed her breasts, grabbed her behind, and put his hands between her legs while taking selfies at Sin's shuttered eatery Town Stills and Spirits in 2017. Batali was grabbing me in a way that I was never touched before, she told the court, and then she went on and said it was all happening so quickly and it was happening essentially the whole time, just a lot of touching. And Tenay also said Batali invited her back to his hotel that evening, but that she didn't go. In his closing arguments Tuesday, which was yesterday, Fuller said Tenay brought the charges against his client to make money and exploit the Me Too movement. He argued she has a financial incentive to lie because of her pending civil lawsuit seeking more than $550,000 in damages from Batali. Now, this is what was being said from Fuller. The photos and videos do not lie. They do not have the financial motive to lie, but Ms. Tenay does. Now, the photos, some of which Fuller was spotted holding in court as he spoke, showed the rotund restaurateur grabbing a woman's face and landing a smooch on her cheek. The disgraced chef, who has faced other allegations of inappropriate touching, was looking at 2.5 years in prison if found guilty. Batali notably did not take the stand, and his legal team called no witnesses. Lawyers for the chef zeroed in on Tenay's alleged past mistruths, noting she once admitted to lying to a Massachusetts court by saying she was clairvoyant to get out of jury duty. She also conspired with her mother to forge a lease to help her get out of paying a gym's $200 cancellation fee, his lawyers said. Alright. So this is a pretty intense topic here. Now, this is what I personally have to say about this. I think that this is a bunch of BS from Natalie Tenay, big time. Because if the woman wants money, then she's going to have to earn it the right way. She cannot be earning it, or she cannot get it by lying in court, by falsely accusing someone of sexual misconduct. She cannot be doing that at all. It is morally wrong, and of course it's illegal too to be lying in court, you know? And also, coming from a woman that has lied in the past, I mean, that's already coming to say how much of a liar she is and how much of a awful person she is for doing things like this, you know? Especially for putting Mario Batali's life in danger, basically, by putting him in prison. That is just so awful, you know? So awful. No one wants to land in prison, especially Mario Batali. Heck no. So this right here is really evil of her to be doing this to him. Now, another thing that I have to say is the fact that she is making herself look like the victim and is trying to convince a lot of people out there that she is the victim and that she is the good person is already just coming to show that she is basically brainwashing a lot of people out there and making her look like the good person and making her look like she deserves more attention and all the publicity and this and that. And yes, of course, she is doing this because she wants all of the money of the world. You know, she wants the publicity from the she wants the money from the publicity, and then she wants the money, of course, from the court as well. I'm pretty sure because of her accusing Batali for these ridiculous things. So that's what this is all about. So honestly, this is just completely ridiculous. And I personally feel like one day this is going to bite her in the butt, and she is going to look back at this and she's going to be like, oh my God, why the heck did I do such a thing? Why did on earth did I do something so untruthful just for my own convenience? And why didn't I just be honest in the first place and not get poor Batali in trouble in the first place? You know, so this is just, you know, ridiculous. And you know what? This situation also caused Batali to lose his job on that cooking show. I think it was called The Chef or The Cook. I forgot the name of the show. But it even costed him his own job because of this accusation. So, I mean, it's just bad here, you know? It's just really bad. But it's kind of sounding to me like what's going on with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. But I mean, with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, I mean, it's not even sure if Amber Heard is really telling the truth or not. But I mean, it kind of sounds like it to me that she is telling the truth. But anywho, back on topic to this one. I think that in this case, for sure, it is already clear that Natalie Tenay is a liar, and she deserves to be held accountable to for lying to the court and for falsely accusing, especially someone that never did anything to her. That is all I have to say. All right, so from this situation to now, more hot topics. All right, so now let's talk about Elon Musk, shall we? So, as we all know, the billionaire purchased Twitter recently. Well, he recently had an interview, and apparently Elon Musk is thinking of reversing Trump's Twitter ban. All right. Well, Elon Musk said yesterday that he would restore former President Donald Trump's banned account on Twitter if his deal to acquire the company is completed. Now, Musk's remarks at Financial Times' Future of the Car conference marks his first public acknowledgement of what had been widely expected since the billionaire announced plans to buy the social media giant for $44 billion. Now, Musk has previously said he thinks Twitter should be more reluctant to delete things and very cautious with permanent bans. On Tuesday, which was yesterday, he called Twitter's decision to ban Trump in January 2021 a mistake. And he got to say this: I do think it was not correct to ban Donald Trump. I think that was a mistake. I would reverse the permanent ban, but my opinion, and Jack Dorsey, I want to be clear, shares this opinion, is that we should not have permanent bans. And Dorsey, Twitter's co-founder and former CEO, tweeted Tuesday following Musk's remarks that he does agree there shouldn't be permanent bans on Twitter users. There are exceptions, but generally permanent bans are a failure of ours and don't work, he said. Now, Twitter declined to comment on Musk's remarks. So apparently Trump was permanently suspended, of course, as we all know, from Twitter following the January 6th Capitol riot for violating the platform's rules against violence incitement, a decision the company has said was headed by Dorsey. Other social platforms followed in banning or suspending Trump's account. All right. Trump, for his part, has said he would not return to Twitter even if his account was restored, instead promoting his own social media venture, Truth Social, which has so far appeared to struggle to get off the ground. All right, so this is what I personally think. I feel like Trump should not return to Twitter at all, and I feel like Elon Musk would make the stupidest mistake of his life if he decides to reverse Trump's Twitter ban, because that man caused so much trouble when he was on Twitter. He literally caused an insurrection. He caused so much violence with other stuff, like with racism and with mocking other people that were working with him, and mocking a lot of other people, that of course he knew. And unfortunately, Twitter is not supposed to be about that kind of environment. Twitter is supposed to be about the safety environment. It's supposed to be about the good energy, you know? And Trump was technically turning Twitter into something dangerous. He technically was. So I think it's for the best that Twitter keeps the ban for Trump. And I personally feel like, to all the Trump supporters out there, I mean, I know y'all are gonna disagree with me on this one, but I mean, this is just my personal opinion, and I feel like it should be respected in my personal opinion. And I also feel like the fact that Elon Musk is already saying that Twitter is supposed to be about free speech and that, we all have the right to free speech. This right here about him planning on having Trump back on Twitter is definitely not the case of free speech here. This is the case of actually bringing back someone that will turn Twitter into a bad environment again, you know? Because free speech is, yes, you can say whatever the heck you want. You can, express your own opinions on certain people. You can say certain things about certain um, people. You can say certain things about whatever. But there's a limit to those things. You cannot go far and say dangerous things on social media that will cause your career or cause other people's careers or whatnot. You cannot at all, because the more you do that, the more it's going to be dangerous for Twitter, and the more people are going to feel convinced to just delete their Twitter accounts, and then Twitter is going to end up losing more than they're going to end up winning more. So Elon Musk really needs to think up here before he really decides to bring back Trump into Twitter. And also, the fact that free speech is beautiful, yes, but we have to acknowledge the fact that free speech is something that we as people need to acknowledge that it should be used in the safe way, not used in a dangerous way like Trump did in the past. We have to acknowledge that. We have to acknowledge that. That is all I have to say about this. All right. So now from that to now, more hot tea. All right. So now from Elon Musk purchasing Twitter, and purchasing Twitter, and then also having his plans on bringing back Trump, to now Jeannie Mai Jenkins. Alright, so Jeannie Mai Jenkins, the beloved co-host of The Real, well, apparently she is putting an end to the crazy rumors that she is joining the cast of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Jenkins takes the opportunity to address that speculation during Wednesday's episode of The Real, where she is joined by RHOA star Kenya Moore. Now, she got to say this. That was crazy. I literally was just over here having a baby and I'm hearing these rumors. I was like, where? How am I going to go from this into that? Because that's a full-time job, Jenkins says, referring to the baby girl she and Jeezy welcomed in January. Now, Moore goes on to share that she thinks Jenkins would make an excellent housewife, but while Jenkins took that as a compliment, she once again shuts down speculation. And she got to say this. Thank you, and I love you ladies too. I love you all, you ladies. But no, do you know when they say, where's there's smoke, there's fire? That was a complete rumor, Jenkins says. I haven't talked to one person. My people haven't talked to one person from Bravo, so that was a complete rumor that got made up, end quote. Now, after a bit more back and forth banter, Moore asks Jenkins if the door is closed to her considering joining the cast. Now she got to say this, the door is closed. It's sealed. There wasn't a door to begin with. It was a wall. And there is no there is no door, no, and I say that just because it's a lot of work. And even knowing Garcelle Beauvais, I always ask her, how do you get your mind in the place of going into a shoot, and you're not ready for what might come at you? And she tells me too, it's a full-time job, end quote. So rumors of Jenkins appearing on the reality show began to swirl after she relocated to Atlanta, where her husband, Jeezy Live's speculation was that she was prepared to take Kandi Burruss' spot. All right, so as we all know, Burruss addressed the rumors that she was being replaced in March, and that's what really gave in more speculation that Jeannie could be the replacement, and she could end up joining that reality show. So, anywho, this is what I think. This is actually pretty hilarious how a lot of people are already assuming that Jeannie could be joining that show, The Real Housewives of Atlanta, because, I mean, it's really interesting how we as people, we can literally judge a book by its cover, by all of a sudden seeing things on what people do, and then all of a sudden we're all assuming, oh yeah, well, this person's doing so and so because I already saw this person going to this place, or because I saw this person doing these things, So that's what I'm trying to say here is it's very interesting how a person really judges a book by its cover. Now, also, Jeannie Mai, I mean, she, in my opinion, she has a really good personality to be in a reality show, and she has a really good personality to be in a talk show like The Real, which unfortunately is getting canceled. But anywho, I love The Real. The Real's such a good talk show. Well, anywho, and she has such a really good personality for many other things. Love Jeannie Mai. But I personally feel, though, that Jeannie Mai doesn't even have the time or the mind to even be in a reality show like The Real Housewives of Atlanta, because that show requires so much time, so much emotion, so much dedication, and especially coming from a woman that just had a baby back in January, she really wants to think more about the child, and she wants to think about being in a reality show filled with a bunch of drama and a bunch of other crap, Let's just be real here. So with that being said, Jeannie Mai, she's definitely not going to be joining the reality show. Now, it's very interesting though. I mean, I could already imagine though Jeannie Mai being in a reality show and just trying to deal with the ladies of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and having to be that woman that is just trying to fix things, and that's trying to also and be friends with them, of course, and God knows what else, because I mean that show was just a bunch of drama and also a lot of funniness, let's be real here. So I can already imagine. So with that being said, Jeannie is rumored, but she's not going to be joining the show at all. No, and y'all heard it from Jeannie Mai Jenkins herself, that she is not going to be joining the Real Housewives of Atlanta. All right, so now from that topic to now more hot tea. All right, so now let's talk about Succession actor James Cromwell. All right, so Succession actor James Cromwell glues himself into Starbucks counter in animal rights protest. So, Succession's actor James Cromwell is sticking close to his mission for animal rights. Just yesterday, the 82-year-old actor joined a protest put on by members of PETA and superglued his hand to a counter at a Starbucks in New York City. Now, the Oscar-nominated actor wore a black PETA t-shirt that read "Free the Animals" as he walked into the establishment with other protesters who held signs to protest the chain's upcharge for non-dairy milk. Now, Cromwell and another protester sat on the counter while the employees worked in the background with their hands glued to the surface. In a video, the actor gives a brief speech. Now, this is what he got to say. Non-dairy products all over the world, France, they give these things away. There's no charge for it, he said in a clip of the protest, which was streamed by PETA. And then he also got to say, here there's an exorbitant charge, why when it's so important not to address climate change and to understand the violence to animals to go on to make dairy products that are served here. There's no reason for it except greed. End quote. Now, Cromwell then went on to reach into his pocket and pull out a piece of paper where he read off numbers allegedly connecting the charge of non-dairy milk to the amount of money the company's CEO was able to make in his retirement. Well, Cromwell and the group were in the store for around 30 minutes before the police were called and asked them to leave. Upon the police's arrival, the actor was able to unglue his hand and walk out of the store. The actor has been passionate about animal rights since the 70s. Cromwell became a vegan in 1995 after working on the film Babe and working closely with a lot of animals. All right, so this is what I have to say. I personally think that everyone has the right to have their own opinion and everyone has the right to choose what they want to choose in supporting. Now, let him support, let him protect animals. Let him defend animals, just let him. He's a really good guy, I can tell, and I feel like a person that loves animals is someone that also loves human beings, in my personal opinion, because I feel like that is someone that really thinks about the animals. It's someone that really thinks about what the animals are going through and what the animals need in life, because normally there are a lot of people out there where they are like, oh, well, animals are animals, it's whatever, we can just dump them in the street and we can let them do whatever the heck they want. I don't care if something bad happens to them, There's a lot of cruel people that really say that and do that, and it's very sickening, and it's about time that we find people like Cromwell that will really put a stop to this and will be like, well, you know what, you guys? I defend these animals and I love these animals, and these animals deserve to be treated like we humans are being treated, So that's a very good thing, and that's a very good example that Cromwell is giving to us. Now, another thing that I have to say is Cromwell, I know a lot of people are going to be judging him and they're going to be going after him and they're going to be like, oh, well, Cromwell is over here doing this and that with animals, and animals are meant to be eaten and this and that and but we also as humans have to acknowledge the fact that animals they have hearts too, they have souls too. I mean, we can't just see them as what's it called, as our slaves, or we can't see them as just people that, or not people, as these things that are just disgusting or that are whatever, and we're just gonna eat them and this and that. We cannot see them that way. We cannot, especially to all the pet owners out there. There's an example. So yeah. Now, I also am glad that he has the guts to be defending the animals, especially by wearing that shirt that says "Free the Animals." I really am happy because not a lot of people out there really have the guts to even say anything or do anything when it comes to defending animals. There are a lot of people out there that are going to go off and they're going to be like, oh my god, well, I am all an animal rights activist, but then they will go off and they get fake and they're like, oh, well, no, you know what, you're right, yeah, I really am not going to be defending these animals, and I'm going to go off and side with you guys, and with him it's like, no, I am all about animals, and regardless if you disagree with me, I will still be a part of, I will still defend these animals and I'll still protect them. He will say it to your face, and he'll even say it wherever. That's how he is, and that is a real human being right there, not a fake person. That's a good thing. All right, so with that being said, James Cromwell, you are a lovely person. You are always welcome to be on this show if you are watching this. And yeah. All right, so now from this topic to now more hot topics. All right, so now let's talk about Diane Kruger. Now, Diane Kruger reveals the name of her and Norman Reedus' daughter and meaning behind it. All right, so Kruger and Rita chose the name Nova, Tennessee for their child, and the 45-year-old actress opens up about the powerful meaning behind it in anticipation of her new children's book, A Name from the Sky. Now, she got to say this. I had her late in life at 42, and Norman had a child when he was much younger. And she explained it to people. Nova in Latin means new beginning, and a nova star keeps changing and is reborn. And we love Tennessee and the Smoky Mountains. We do motorcycle trips there. End quote. Now, according to the description for Kruger's new book, the actress shares how the meaning of her own name, which was uncommon in Germany where she grew up, inspired her love of animals and allowed her to explore other passions growing up. Now, this is what's also being said. This warm and relatable autobiographical story comes full circle when Diane explains how she chose her own daughter's name and invites readers to learn the meaning behind their own name and discover their own special powers. The description reads, illustrated in a classic storybook style by the fine artist Krista Unsner. This book is sure to instill wonder as it inspires children to follow their dreams and passions. End quote. Okay, so this is pretty amazing how Diane Kruger is going off sharing her story behind her daughter's name, and she's going off expressing about her daughter, especially in a very good way, because I mean, there is nothing better than to have someone, especially a celebrity mom, to express really good things about their son or about their daughter, because there are a lot of celebrity moms out there that just want to hide their children and they just want to be like, oh, I don't have any children, or oh, yeah, they're my children and that's it, and she is literally not those kind of people. She's one of those people that is like, you know what, I have a daughter and I'm proud I have a daughter and I am a proud mama and that's who I am. And also it really sounds to me that the fact that she really gave her daughter a unique name is already coming to show how much she loves her daughter, because there are a lot of moms out there that will give their children a bunch of common names, and it's like, oh yeah, we'll just name them this, and Nova really sounds unique, and it also sounds like a really nice name. So that's actually really dope right there. Now, I also feel like, Kruger, I can tell is a really good mom. I can tell that she is down to earth. I can tell that she is all here for her kids, and she's all here to, be so focused and centered on being a mother, So that's also a really good thing, especially because she's a celebrity mother. Now, Kruger tells people that Nova has helped her see life in a new light, and that so many things at her age, well, so many things at my age you've done 1,000 times, but just seeing it through her eyes again. And she got to gush about that. And then she also got to say that whether it's having ice cream for the first time or seeing snow for the first time, there's just something so refreshing and simple about that life as mother and daughter that I've just found magnificent. Now, as for her journey to motherhood, it wasn't all planned out. Nova was a surprise, she shares. I thought it wasn't going to happen, and she came into my life when I was ready. I'm grateful that happened for me and our family. She's changed my world and the way I look at everything. Okay, so this is what I also have to say about this. I also feel like, you know what, children do change your world, and they do change your life, and they change your life for the better, because when you have a child into this world, you will grow as a parent, you will learn a lot as a parent, and also you will be able to be centered on what you are supposed to be as a mother or as a father, so children are also something that will make you learn a lot in life. Now, also, your children are also like your best friends, or are your best friends, because they are with you 24/7, and they are with you no matter what, and they are literally yours, especially. And also, another thing that I have to say is children, well, the good children, they will value and appreciate, and they will be grateful for the parents that they have. And so that right there is already coming to show how much that children are your best friends, regardless if they're your children, they're also your best friends, So, anywho, I am really happy though that Nova is really getting to share her story, and I'm really happy that she is getting to share positive things about her daughter, And also, I am very happy that that Diane Kruger is, a happy mother, especially, most importantly, because out of all of this, it's really important to be a happy mother. And it's really important to have a happy and healthy lifestyle as well. Alright, so now from Diane Kruger to now, Hilary Duff. Alright, so actress Hilary Duff and singer Hilary Duff got to pose nude recently, and honestly, it was pretty interesting having to see her pose nude because I've never seen her pose nude before. Well, Hilary Duff poses naked, and also she gets to um she gets to talk body acceptance and motherhood. All right, so Hilary Duff is getting candid about her body image. Now, the How I Met Your Father star 34 posed nude for the May/June cover of Women's Health and opened up about embracing her body over the years. She recalled spending years feeling consumed by the horrifying pressure to being a certain size as a young actress on television, which resulted in her battle with an eating disorder at 17. Duff admitted she's gotten to a point where today she's fully accepting her body and has no interest in living up to Hollywood standards. Now, she got to say this: "I'm proud of my body," and she also got to say, "I've gotten to a place of being peaceful with the changes my body has gone through." Now, she also got to say, "I think that at 34, I have just gained a lot of respect for my body. It's taken me all of the places I need to go. It's helped me build a beautiful family. I feel like the older I get, the more confident I get in my own skin. And my body's been many different shapes and sizes, and I'm really just fascinated by one, being a woman, and two, all the changes that your body can go through throughout your lifetime." End quote. Now, Duff admitted that she didn't fully accept her body until she had her daughter Banks and realized that she was powerful by becoming a mom again after going through a divorce. She noted that it was all mental things that helped her with self-acceptance. All right. And she got to say this: "I do feel lucky in the mental health department where I haven't had huge hurdles to go over. But just like everyone else, I have my issues, my insecurities, and pain," she said. And then she also got to say, "Therapy helps me a lot. I try to do a Zoom with my therapist at least twice a month, if not more, if I need it. But I think just talking and having the right people around you that can truly listen when you need them to, and talk and taking space for yourself." End quote. All right. So you know what? Hilary Duff is really showing a really good example here to all women out there, because in reality, there is nothing better than to be confident and to feel accepted to be in your own body. Because unfortunately, we live in a time and age where a lot of women are looking up to a lot of skinny models, and they're like, "Oh my god, I want to look like this skinny model. I don't want to be like this anymore. And oh, I have to eat a certain way now, and this and that." And then there goes the insecurities, and then there goes the lack of confidence, and there goes the bullying and the cyberbullying especially. And that unfortunately happens so much, especially in this day and age. And this needs to stop, you know. This really needs to stop. And this is why I am very happy about the fact that Hilary Duff is really giving out the example out there that it is okay to be whatever body you are in, and it is perfectly fine that you, as a human being, you get to be focused on your own life, especially just like Hilary Duff is, for example. She's busy focused on her children, she's busy focused on her career, and that's how it should be. Now, I also feel like Hilary Duff, she is such a bright woman. She is such a beautiful, positive human being. She has literally impacted so many people, and she has impacted so many TV shows, especially Lizzie McGuire, which, by the way, is my favorite childhood TV show. Love me some Lizzie McGuire. And I mean, she is such a good actress, and she's such a good singer. I love her music, especially. As a child, I listened to her music all the time, and to this day I still do. And also, Hilary Duff, she is that kind of woman that basically is not only trying to set a good example for women out there, that it is perfectly fine to live the body that you want to be in, but also she is giving a good example, a very, very good example that in life, if you are really going through so much pressure, it's okay to seek help. It's perfectly fine, especially seek help from a therapist, because when you seek a therapist, that will really guide women, especially everyone in general, not just women, to really be confident and to not let anything negative get to them. You know, therapy is really, really needed. That is all I have to say. It's really, really needed. And unfortunately, there are just so many rude and nasty people out there that like to pick on women for their body image and for their body size and for how they look in general. Because all of those women or all of those people out there that like to pick on other women or on people in general, they are insecure with themselves. That's what happens here. You know, and in order for them to feel secure about themselves, they want to go off and they want to um, body shame other people. They want to make other people look bad. And I feel like that is not how it should be in life. I feel like in life, you really have to be confident and you really have to be secure about yourself by really looking at yourself in the mirror and be like, you know what, I can make changes to myself instead of making other people look bad and making other people feel bad about themselves. So that's how it should be. That's how it should be, you know? And unfortunately, it's because of these kind of people that a lot of people feel bad about themselves and then they go off and then they do a bunch of stupid stuff to themselves, you know? So this is what this topic is all about, especially to all you women that are watching this. You know, so anywho, congrats to Hilary Duff though on being such a successful mother and for being such a successful actress and singer. And I really hope to hear new music from her really soon because I haven't heard any new music from her in a while. And I love me some Hilary Duff. Hilary, you keep on doing you and you keep on giving a good example to everyone out there. Alright, so that is it for today's show, you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of The Jose Show. And I'll be back with more, so don't worry. And also, please make sure you guys follow me on social media. It is highly appreciated. Till next time, peace.